Now, we've been talking a lot about the heartbreak in the figure skating community after the crash. This is video of Vadim Naumov and Evgenia Shishkova, who died in the crash. They were married and won a 1994 World Championship in pairs figure skating. They were coaches for the Skating Club of Boston. Earlier this morning, the club's CEO spoke about the loss.
These kids and their parents, they're here at our facility in Norwood 6, sometimes 7 days a week. It's a close, tight bond, and I think for all of us, we have lost family.
Now, the CEO confirmed 2 teenage athletes and their mothers also died in that crash. And that loss is certainly being felt here in Southern California as figure skaters learn more about the victims. KCAL News reporter Amanda Starantino is live at the Toyota Sports Performance Center in El Segundo. Amanda, as a professional figure skater yourself, this has to hit hard.
Amy, this is an absolute tragedy for the entire figure skating community, a total loss. These figure skaters and their families and their coaches that were on board that flight, although we do not know exactly who they were part of this community, of this family. And they were probably all very young, too, and just extremely talented figure skaters. So really feeling that loss here. And there's going to feel that hole, too, in this figure skating community. So these skaters, part of U.S. figure skating, and U.S. figure skating did finally share that statement just about an hour ago, confirming that there were skaters on board that flight to Washington. Take a look at what it says. And in part, they say these athletes, coaches, and family members are returning home from the National Development Camp held in conjunction with the U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Wichita, Kansas. We are devastated by this unspeakable tragedy and hold the victims' families closely in our hearts. Well, this morning, a Russian media outlet reported that U.S. figure skater John Maravilla was supposed to be on that doomed flight to D.C. However, a gate agent denied him access because of his dog's size. However, Maravilla has confirmed to other U.S. media outlets this morning that the story is false, and he was not scheduled to be on that flight to the nation's capital. Instead, he was supposed to be on a Delta Airlines flight from Wichita to Atlanta. He was unable to get on that flight because of his dog's size. However, in the midst of this confusion, he is still devastated by the loss of his friends in that sport. So if you take a look at this video, some skaters practicing here this morning. Figure skaters around the world are at a loss with this tragic hole now left in their world. This morning at the Toyota Sports Center in El Segundo, a training facility known for hosting international and national champions here. A few figure skaters talked with me before stepping on the ice this morning.
It almost feels unfair to be here, but I know skaters would want us to hold that close to our heart, so just trying to stay, close with our families and hold them close, because there's nobody in the skating community that's not affected by this.
These are people who were at the top of their game, really top of their sport, and it's just devastating.
It's absolutely devastating and heartbreaking for this whole world here. I was talking to a lot of coaches that were in my life and still coach today. One of them is actually on the ice right behind me, and they are all feeling this loss and shock this morning. They were saying it reminds them of the 1960s all over again when we lost our entire world skating team in that tragic plane accident. And with this, these skaters were coming from this national training camp, and it's an honor to be a part of this. They just came out of nationals, which is what every single figure skater works for their entire career to get to that point. And these skaters that were involved in this training camp, they're all in the levels of intermediate, novice, junior. That's right before you hit that senior level. That's what you see on the Olympics. So they were so close to reaching that top spot, what they've been working for. I mean, figure skating, you have so much dedication, time, your family puts so much into it. And that's what these skaters embodied that were part of this training camp. So they really got an incredible opportunity. They were probably on such a high after that as well. So a huge loss, a huge tragedy, and everyone, including myself, are feeling it this morning. Back to you, Amy.
All right, Amanda, thank you for that. We're certainly going to be continuing to cover this deadly mid-air crash in Washington, D.C. throughout the day. You can find the very latest on air and on KCALnews.com.
Now you can get your KCAL News, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.